Now to our major exclusive story tonight. The SBS has censored interviews with prominent international figures like Colonel Richard Kemp because they were too supportive of Israel. I can tonight reveal that SBS has removed, edited, or refused to run 4 interviews that presented Israel's side of the story. And the public broadcaster has claimed that they didn't meet their editorial standards. A Jewish SBS journalist, Amit Rehak, who did these interviews, is now considering legal action. He resigned in August. Now, SBS removed from online an interview that Amit did with distinguished British Commander Richard Kemp, in which he said that Israel was taking care not to kill civilians. Amit also did an interview with a relative of a hostage, but it was never broadcast. Management told him he couldn't broadcast it, a relative of a hostage. I also understand that SBS was unhappy with an interview with an anti-Semitism activist from Germany, Oriana Mari Gruger. SBS management edited Amit's interview to remove a section where she gave her opinion on the Israel-Gaza war, saying that the state of Israel was being demonised. That was her opinion. In a formal letter, the public broadcaster accused Amit of a breach of policy, claiming that his interviews lacked balance, impartiality, and didn't have a wide representation of views. Now, Richard Kemp is a distinguished figure. He led the British Army in Iraq and Afghanistan. Like Israel's allies, Australia and the United States, Britain has supported Israel's fight against terror. Now, I had Richard Kemp on my program when I was in Israel, and this is what he said.
The leaders in these Western countries understand the threat. They know that Israel's doing the right thing. They're just afraid of a country standing up for itself. They've forgotten how a country needs to stand up for itself to survive.
Is that a man who should be censored, who should have his whole interview removed from online, as SBS did? We can presume that Richard Kemp did make similarly supportive comments of Israel in his interview with SBS, as is his right and even duty as a high-profile commander who has personally fought terrorism. Now, the 15-minute interview with Kemp did go to air on SBS radio in late May. It was published online, but a few hours later was removed. Amit later received a formal reprimand from SBS, where his managers accused him of a lack of challenging questions and bias. The letter said the interview lacked impartiality and balance, had leading questions, and that there was a lack of representation of multiple perspectives and insufficient critical follow-up. This is extraordinary. A journalist respectfully allowing a senior war commander to have his say, and he receives a formal letter accusing him of breach of employment. We've all seen interviews from the ABC and SBS where the journalists don't ask tough questions and they show anti-Israel bias, yet have you ever heard of a formal reprimand before? SBS tonight, in a statement to me, they admitted to the censorship. They said, the 2 stories you raise were reviewed and edited or removed as they did not meet our editorial standards of balance and impartiality. They said SBS does not take editorial positions and is committed to accuracy, balance and impartiality in all its coverage, including in relation to the current conflict in Israel, Gaza and Lebanon. Now, both SBS and ABC have published interviews with the likes of Anthony Lowenstein, along with others who are highly critical of Israel. And their views are egregious in my view. They often utter false accusations against the Jewish state. Now, SBS has also made separate allegations against Amit, which he strongly denies. Amit had worked at the broadcaster for 12 years and he'd expected to continue his journalistic career there. He's been distressed, upset and shocked at the censorship and the allegations. For 3 months now, SBS has not broadcast its Hebrew language broadcast for the first time in 50 years. SBS admitted this and they said to me that it was currently in recess after Amit's resignation, They said that resuming this service was a high priority.